Hello, this is an EmSAT invigilation guide. It is for teachers who will invigilate an EmSAT at an ADVETI centre. This guide is not official from the MOE, but it is based on information we have received from them. So, room preparation. Before an exam, you need to make sure there is a quiet sign or an EmSAT test sign outside the room, so that people outside the test room know that this exam is happening. You need to get the proctor code from the MOE. This will be sent via email and the chief invigilator will pass it on. Log into the campus computers, just to make it quicker for the candidates. And there is a common username and password like this, BYN user with A capital A small 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, but it changes depending on the campus. Open a link to the browser, on the browser to the test, which is www.fasttestweb.com, and then select Examinee Login. You should get pencils and scrap paper for candidates that request them. Before the exam starts, collect the attendance list and the assessment tickets from the chief invigilator. The test room should be prepared 30 minutes before each session. Starting the test. Candidates can enter the test room 15 minutes before the start. This is the time it takes to settle them in. Candidates should leave mobile phones with security staff outside the room or on a table but at the front of the room, not with them at the desks. As the candidates enter the room, invigilators should ask for the candidate name and their Emirates ID, give them the assessment ticket, but cross-check the name and the Emirates ID carefully with the assessment ticket. Sometimes you might get students with very similar names, like a Fatima or a Mohammed name would often have similar names, and make sure you give them the correct assessment ticket. The Emirates ID will help with this. Ask the candidate to sign the attendance sheet or the assessment ticket to prove that they have received it. Candidates should take a seat at a computer and wait for the test to begin. Absent students should be noted on the attendance sheet and the assessment ticket. Logging into the test. Show the EmSAT presentation if asked to do so by the chief invigilator. This will be a video or a PowerPoint. Highlight the test rules and the section countdown timers. You can start logging in candidates using the test code on the assessment ticket. Here is what an assessment ticket looks like. The test code is here. Don't worry about capital letters. It's not case sensitive, and also there's a hyphen in between. You don't need to worry about that. You can enter it either way, like this. Once the test code has started to be entered, this is when exam conditions must begin. Students must be quiet from this point. Sometimes the computer system on campus has something running in the background and a notification might pop up. If this happens, just click open or yes or whatever allows you to continue. Assessment tickets and Emirates IDs should stay on the desk throughout the test. If there is a problem, they will need the ticket to log back into the test. And when the candidate is ready, you should communicate the proctor code that was given to you before the start of the test. Test standards. It's very important that invigilators understand these are high stakes exams. They can make a big difference to students' futures, and invigilators must be vigilant. Invigilators are responsible for ensuring the candidates do not engage in any prohibited behaviour like cheating, talking, using electronic devices. You can provide them with scrap paper if they need, or they can use the back of the assessment ticket. Monitor actively all through the exam. Don't sit down in the same place for an extended period of time. Support the candidates when necessary. but avoid both invigilators going to support simultaneously so that you can help make exam conditions. So if one student asks for help, decide who goes to help and the other person watches the exam. Do not use your laptop or a mobile phone during the exam so that you maintain your concentration, unless you need to contact for support. Do not assist students with answering of the questions. You can help them with test instructions, but not the questions. If you're unsure, ask the Chief Invigilator. If a candidate engages in prohibited behaviour, like talking to a candidate, you must issue them with a yellow card and ask them to stop misbehaving. Make it clear that you have warned them. If this continues, issue a red card and then ask the candidate to stop the exam. This is the guidance from the MOE. We don't want to create a situation that affects the exam, so make it clear you've warned them and then make it clear again. They may finish the exam, but as long as you've made it clear that you've asked them to stop. Inform the Chief Invigilator and record the incident on the assessment ticket. Use the assessment ticket also to record any anomalies like lateness, sleeping, they had a mobile phone, any IT problems, whether you gave them a yellow or red card, they left very early, they put no effort in, just anything that you think might be relevant at a later stage. Test problems and troubleshooting. So over the years we've had a few issues and these are the general ones we have. If they have no Emirates ID, notify the Chief Invigilator. The official MOE policy is do not let them sit the exam and a decision should be made at the campus level. Bathroom breaks. You should encourage candidates to go before the test. The test can take a long time, but please encourage them to go before because there is a timer and it does not stop. If they're absolutely necessary, ask them to go when there's a section with time allowing it. You cannot stop the timer and you should get them to be accompanied towards the bathroom. Late students, like we said, students can enter 15 minutes after the test has started. If there's anyone arriving much later, you can contact the MOE for approval. Frozen screen. You should restart the browser or the computer depending where the problem is, but do it immediately and get them logged in straight away. The test will continue, so log them back in with the test code. If the test is significantly affected, you should contact the MOE. If the test code does not work at the start, again contact the MOE, there might be a problem and they'll give you a new one. If WebLock is not installed, this is what the browser that's used for the test, contact IT and they should reinstall WebLock or just change the computer, I guess. Now, most of the instructions here are for the English exam, which lasts 125 minutes, but there are other exams. These are the lengths of the exam. Math 120, Physics 90, Arabic 120, Chemistry 90, Biology 90, and Computer Science is 120. At the end of the test, make sure that all sections are completed. Candidates need to click I am done and exit WebLock. Some candidates finish and then leave, but they don't actually submit the test, and then that leaves you responsible for submitting the test, which is best avoided. So get candidates to submit their own test. The candidate can leave when they're finished, but they should not disturb other candidates on the way out of the room. Collect the assessment ticket from the candidate and any scrap paper. Any yellow or red cards should be supported by a report, so if you did have an incident, make sure it's written via email or on the ticket or in a report form to the Chief Invigilator. If students do ask about the results, they're usually shared with student services for whoever 10 days after the test date. Okay, that's it. Good luck with the invigilation.